Welcome to The Explainer. You know, every single time you use an app, a website, or even just your microwave, there's a program inside making thousands of little decisions. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the simple but really powerful logic that makes it all work.
All right, let's kick things off with a really basic question. When you tap that like button, or you choose a shipping option, or you press play on a video, how in the world does the software know what it's supposed to do next? And the thing is, it's not magic. It all comes down to this really simple but super powerful logical toolkit. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to open up that toolkit and see exactly what's inside.
Okay, let's dive right in with the most fundamental tool in the entire kit, the simple if statement. I want you to think of it like the most basic gatekeeper you can imagine.
So, an if statement. It's about as simple as a decision can get. It just asks one simple question. And if the answer is yes, it does something. But if the answer is no, well, it just moves on. Does absolutely nothing. Probably the best way to picture this is just a regular old light switch. It does one thing and one thing only, under one very specific condition. That's it. No plan B. You can see the logic here. It's so simple, right? The program asks one question. Is the switch flipped on? If that's true, boom, the light comes on. But, and this is the key thing to remember, if it's false, the program just keeps on going. It doesn't do anything else.
Okay, but what happens when doing nothing just isn't an option? What if you always need something to happen? A plan B? Well, that's where we bring in the else. Now, this is totally different because it forces a choice. There's no sitting on the fence. It's basically saying, hey, if this one thing is true, you're going to do action A. But if it's not, you have to do action B. One way or another, something is going to happen.
Yeah, the perfect way to think about this is a fork in the road. You know, unlike that light switch where you could just do nothing, here, you can't just stand there. You've got to pick a path, left or right.
So you see, you always get one of two distinct outcomes. The program checks that one condition, and based on that one simple true or false answer, it sends you down one of two totally different roads.
Okay, so let's recap. If is great for a single choice. If else is perfect when you have two choices. But what happens when you've got way more than two options, like 5 or 10 or 20? For that, we need to pull out a specialist tool from our kit.
I mean, you could just stack up a bunch of if-else statements, right? But look at this. It gets really messy really fast. It's clunky, it's hard to read, it's just not a great way to do it.
The much cleaner solution is something called a switch statement, and it's designed for this exact problem. When you have one piece of information, a variable, as programmers call it, and you need to check it against a whole list of specific possibilities. And the best analogy for this? A vending machine. Seriously, it's perfect. Think about it. You don't ask the machine, is there a soda? Is there a chip? No. You punch in a specific code, C4, and you get a specific item. It's a direct one-to-one match.
So, look at this. All that messy code from before now looks like this clean, organized table. You can see instantly what happens on Monday, what happens on Tuesday, and so on. It's just so much easier to read and understand.
All right, so we've got our three main tools in the toolkit now, the if-else, and the switch. But the real trick, the final piece of the puzzle, is knowing when to use which tool.
Okay, this slide right here, this is your cheat sheet. This is the blueprint. It lays it all out. So you use a simple if when you have just one optional action. That's your light switch. You use an if-else when there's a mandatory choice between two things. That's your fork in the road. And you grab that switch when you need to pick one specific option from a whole list of possibilities. That's your vending machine.
And here's what's so cool about all this. Whether you're talking about a massive, complex video game or just a simple calculator app, at its very core, the decisions it's making, they all boil down to these three simple ideas. So by getting these three tools, you now actually understand the fundamental way a computer thinks.
So, I want to leave you with a final thought. Think about your own routine when you wake up in the morning. If you were to write it out like a program, where are all the decisions? Like, when your alarm goes off, is hitting the snooze button an if statement? You know, if I'm tired, then hit snooze. What about choosing coffee or tea? That's got to be an else, right? You have to pick one. And picking a shirt from your closet, that feels a lot like a switch, doesn't it? Based on what day it is, you pick a specific shirt. It's kind of cool when you think about it that way.